Hi guys, motion graphics is creating graphics and putting it in motion as easy as this. Here we have a rectangle, a circle, and some text which is also graphic. We are going to create them, that's creating our graphics, and then we are going to put them in motion. And this is exactly the animation that we are going to create. It will be great if you follow along with me and create the animation at the same time I'm creating it. Let's start. The first thing to do to start a project or to start working in After Effects is to create a composition. To create a composition, you come to the button here. It says create a new composition. A composition is just a container that will contain all your elements in form of layers. So we click on it and you have the composition settings panel opened. Okay, the first thing is composition name. Give it a nice name, for example, motion. For now, not very nice name, but it works. So start with the basic here. In preset, please click on it and go choose HDTV 720 by 25. That is the size of a composition of 1280 pixel and the height is 720 pixel. This is what we call 720p and is perfect for YouTube and video. Leave square pixels. Frame rate is 25. It came from above. Resolution full. Start time code 0, no problem. Duration, please type 300. And then when you have 300, it will mean 3 seconds. Background color, you can click on it and come and change the background color to whatever you want. That's good. Okay, we click OK to create our new composition. You have your first composition and notice what happened. In the project panel, this is a panel, you have your composition listed. This is where all your compositions will be listed plus your files. And in the timeline, you are also working on the composition motion. Of course, I doubt you will have it under. I will close it. Now you have the motion composition where you would gonna put all your layers. In the composition viewer here, you are working on the composition code motion. Let's start adding some graphics. In your toolbar here, you notice the selection tool is selected now. Now go and select rectangle. If you can't see rectangle, just long click and you have the option here to choose any one of them. For now, let's choose rectangle. I'll click and draw a rectangle, fine. But if I wanted a square, I press Shift and the two sides will be equal. And here you are, you have your square. Where it is, the click, then the Shift. Now that you have your rectangle, notice what's happened in the timeline. A shape layer, this is a layer, has been created and it's open, is scrolled down and showing you have a rectangle and it's rectangle 1. Cool. What you want to do to create another shape is to make sure that we are deselecting. To deselect, you can select your selection tool, click outside and make sure nothing here is highlighted. This highlighted, this is not highlighted. Let's go now and create an ellipse or a circle. I want to create this circle just here. Press Shift and no, that's cool for me. It's okay. Let's deselect again. And notice now you have Shape Layer 2. It's a bit confusing, Shape Layer 1 and Shape Layer 2. Let's go to Shape Layer 2 and press Enter and rename it to Square. You just type Square and press Enter again. And then for the circle also, click on the layer, press Enter and write Circle. Now we wanted to change the color of the big square here. In shapes, the colors are here. You have the fill color, you have the stroke color. Let's go to the fill color and click on it and choose a nice color. For example, in the blue, dark blue, I like these colors. And when you're happy with your color, click OK. You notice it's changing automatically. Let's select our circle, click on the fill, and let's give it a gray. I like this color. Bright gray a bit. Cool. When I'm happy with the color, you just press OK. Cool. Let's deselect by clicking outside. You know, I am in my selection tool. Fine. Let's add some text. We click on text, and as simple as this, you click in your composition and notice how the character panel has opened. I will talk to you about and start writing motion. Press Enter to have a new line and not return. Graphics, for example. Okay, that's cool. Now to exit the text editing, you just choose your selection tool and now you have selected your layer. Notice how the character panel has opened. If it didn't open for you, go to Window and check character. And then this one will open. If I uncheck it, it will disappear. Go back to Window, I check it again. It will reappear somewhere. Okay, if your character panel is opening like this mode, point to the border and where it becomes a double line with arrows, just drag it down. Now here you can adjust the font. You can choose any font you want. For example, here I chose Bib as new. These are the latest fonts somehow. You can choose any font. You can make it regular, bold, whatever. And to make it big or small, you can come to the font size here, click, scrub it to the right, and scrub it to the left. If you click and you have to edit numbers, just click outside again and do it like this. What I want is motion graphics to fit inside the circle. So I will come to the layer, click on it, and when the mouse becomes a black arrow, I can just move my layer anywhere I want. I just want to put here. So put your text here in the middle. If it's too big, you can adjust it. You can make the line spacing bigger or small, whatever you want. And you can change the color. For example, we take black. Good, that's fine. Now, there is something we need to notice here. I click on this circle and move it. There is some kind of a circle here with some arrows or line. This is the anchor point. This is the center of the rotation and the position and whatever you do. So we need to put that in the middle. Same for the square. Look where it is. It's on the side. That's not good. And full motion graphic is almost in the middle. To put the anchor point in the middle of the shape or the text, you have to press Ctrl-Alt-Home. I guess this is the most complicated thing you want to do here. So when you press Ctrl-Alt-Home, you will see that the anchor point has moved to the middle. Now I'm not going to do for each one of them. What I will do is to select all my layers and press Ctrl-Alt-Home. They're all in the middle. Now I don't want them like this on the screen. Of course, I want to align them. For this, I will come to Align. This is the Align panel. If it doesn't appear with you here, just go to Window and its first tab, make sure it's checked and each will appear. Now, I want to align them in the middle of the composition. Now, it is set to align for the selection. And notice I selected all my layers. So I will change the composition. I will click on Align Horizontal and Align Vertical. And now, all of them are in the middle, centered in the composition. Let's deselect and notice what we have in our timeline. First of all, a layer has been created for the motion graphic text. You notice is a text layer. Then there is the circle. This is a shape layer, you remember, and it has ellipse inside. It says us there's this shape layer with an ellipse. If you want to go up and down, you can use the mouse scroll like I'm doing now, or use the slider here to take it down. Let's start animating, and incredibly, you can start animating just now. So let's go down, and let's start animating the square. I'll click on the square, and you see there is transform here. I'll click on transform, and these are all the transformations I can do. There is anchor point, position, scale. Of course, we're going to study each one of them in detail. I'm going to show you a technique and how to create an animation. This is your timeline indicator. It will indicate to you where you are in time for your composition. So it's 3 seconds, and now if you look around here, you notice I am in 9 frames. So when it is seconds, it will show you it's 100, that is 1 second. But if it's less, it will show you the number of frames. Notice we have 25 frames per second, so 12 is almost half a second. At this position in time, I want to start the animation. To start the animation, for example, I want to animate on position, you click on the stopwatch. That is to start. A keyframe is created. You can care less about the technical aspect of a keyframe now. But this keyframe means that at this time, that is 12, please make the position 640 by 360. So After Effects understood this. Let's click on the timeline indicator and go to the beginning. So we drag it to the beginning. Now here, I want to change the position. So I will come to the layer here, click on it, press Shift and drag it down. Notice how the values have been changing according to how I move the text. Now, another keyframe has been created for you. Notice I did not click on the stopwatch again. I did not click on the diamond. Because I moved it in a different time, a keyframe has been created. So what happened now? If I click on the timeline indicator and scrub up or down, you notice that an animation has been created. So all I have to do is to tell After Effects, here on this keyframe, put it in this position, and here on this keyframe, put it another position. And After Effects will do all the work for you. It is called interpolation. And that's it. Actually, that's how you animate. Let's go up to circle and use something different. I will come to circle here and 12 down transform. And then let's work, for example, with the scale. At 12 frames, I will click on the stopwatch to start the animation. And it says here, at this time, the 12 frames, make my scale 100%. So the circle will have a scale 100%. 100% is relative to the size of the circle when you have created it. I will go back in time to 0, and I want to change the scale here. What you can do is to click, and it highlight the number, type 0, press enter, and here you are. Now let's look at it, scrub through. Wow, the circle is going while the rectangle is coming up. Let's go up again and work with the motion graphics. Now, I will trail down. I have only text and transform. You are interested in transform, open transform. Let's work with the opacity, meaning how transparent or how opaque is the text. I click on the stopwatch to start the animation, and this keyframe means this time make the opacity 100%. I will go to the beginning and make the opacity 0. Cool, done. I can't see anything on the screen. Now I want to preview my animation. What I will do, I will come to the preview panel here. If you don't have it or it's big like this, you can just stretch it down. And if it's not there, go to Window and look for preview. So it's an alphabetic order here. We can check preview and it will appear. Okay, so I will press on the play stop button and look at my animation. Cool, very nice. Now, we wanted to change that. That is not very nice. We can do something better. To stop running your animation, you can just click on the stop button. That's one. But my favorite is to click on the timeline indicator and to drag it to the initial position. That's what I like. Okay, we are going to scroll up a bit and twirl up the layers. Now I want to sequence my layers. I don't want them to come all together. So what I will do, I will leave square alone. Let square start in the beginning. Then I want circle to start after the square is inside. So I will click on the layer here. It's very easy. And I will drag it in time. You see, it's going inside the time. It will not start until 11 frames. Look, I will drag my timeline indicator, and here, when the circle will start to glowing. Fine, but now motion graphics is coming in an awkward time. I'm going to click and drag it in time and tell it, okay, when the circle is almost done, start making the motion text appear. Let's go back to the beginning. You know, this, I clicked, I drag, I click play. And here you are, you have created your first motion graphics animation. Notice you have used text. You know how to put text on the screen already. We have used the circle and the rectangles with our shape. We have created keyframes here, and we have sequenced our layers. So that is already a lot of work, and I hope you appreciate your learning now. You really learned the first steps to motion graphics, and you know, it took only 10 to 15 minutes, and you're on. From now on, you can say, I know motion graphics. Thank you very much. In the next lecture, I will give you a challenge or some other lectures that will push your skills to a higher level. See you then.